Tonight's story is here to help you feel at peace and at rest. Tria and Hannah's Journey to Peace. This story is about a girl named Tria and an earth elemental named Hannah, who together bring peace and prosperity to their valley. Once upon a time, in a valley surrounded by towering mountains and vibrant flora, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Tria. She had hair the color of lavender and eyes that sparkled like morning dew. Tria lived at the edge of a dense forest, her house made of cobblestone and thatched roof, blending so with the natural surroundings. Far from Tria's home, deep within the ancient forest, existed a mystical creature named Hannah. Hannah was an earth elemental, her form constantly shifting and shimmering like sunlight breaking through leaves. She was the guardian of the forest, ensuring that every plant, tree, and creature thrived in harmony. Tria often wandered into the forest, collecting herbs and flowers for her family. She had always felt a strange connection to the woods, as if it were alive and whispering secrets to her. One day, as she sang a soft melody while picking wildflowers, the forest seemed to respond in kind, the trees swaying gently to her tune. Curious, Tria ventured deeper into the forest than she had ever gone before. The air grew thick with the scent of pine and earth, and she felt an almost magical presence guiding her steps. Suddenly, she stumbled upon a clearing where the light shone down, illuminating a figure made of earth, leaves, and flowers. "Who are you?" Tria asked, her voice trembling with awe and curiosity. "I am Hannah," the figure replied, her voice like a gentle breeze rustling through the trees. "I am the guardian of this forest." Tria's eyes widened with wonder. "I've always felt the forest was special, but I never knew why." Hannah smiled, a radiant expression that made the flowers at her feet bloom even brighter. "You have a kind heart, Tria, and the forest recognizes that. We need your help to maintain the peace and balance here." Over the next few months, Tria and Hannah formed an unbreakable bond. Tria learned the ways of the forest, how to nurture it and keep it thriving. In return, Hannah taught her ancient songs that could calm storms and encourage plants to flourish even in the harshest conditions. One day, a terrible drought struck the valley. The once vibrant flowers wilted, and the trees drooped under the press of heat. The villagers grew anxious, their crops failing and their spirits waning. Tria knew she had to act. With Hannah by her side, Tria ventured to the heart of the forest. There, in a sacred grove, they performed a powerful ritual, combining their voices in a song that invoked the rain. The sky darkened, the air buzzed with electricity, and soon heavy raindrops began to fall, quenching the thirsty land. The valley flourished once more, flowers blooming in a riot of colors, and the trees standing tall and proud. The villagers rejoiced, their gratitude flowing toward Tria and the mysterious forest guardian they had only heard whispers about. From that day on, Tria was known as the protector of peace, revered not just by the villagers but by the entire forest. Her friendship with Hannah became legendary, a symbol of the harmony that could exist between humans and nature. Together, they ensured that the valley remained a sanctuary of peace and beauty for generations to come. Now, let's enter another chapter of tonight's journey. Promises in the Garden of Friendship. This story is about a girl named Poppy and a magical flower named Achillea, who teach her the power of promises through a heartwarming tale. In a small village nestled between rolling hills and fields of wildflowers, lived a girl named Poppy. Poppy had hair the color of sunset and eyes that sparkled like dew on morning petals. She was kind-hearted, curious, and loved spending her days in the village's garden, a place lush with blooming flora and vibrant colors. The villagers often marvel at her ability to tend to the garden with such dedication, and they sought with each reflection of her loving spirit. Among the many blossoms in the garden, Poppy's favorite was a magical bloom named Achillea. Achillea, with petals as white as snow and centers as golden as the sun, had He was a pearland, a flower that could communicate with kind souls through a special bond, sharing wisdom, comfort, and sometimes even laughter. One day, as Poppy hummed a tune while watering the garden, she heard a gentle voice in her mind. "Poppy, could you sit with me for a while?" Father startled. Poppy looked round and then realized it was Ephiah calling her. She knelt beside him, and the flower's calming presence filled her with warmth. "Wait, dear Pop, I have felt a restless breeze in your heart lately," Achillea began. Poppy, taken aback, nodded slowly. She had been feeling a little blue, worried about her future, and the dreams she held so dearly. "Now did you know it?" she asked softly. "Caring hearts can feel the emotions of those who care for us," Achillea explained. "I want to share a story with you. It's the story of a promise made long ago. In this very garden way." Poppy listened intently as Achillea began his tale. "Once, many years before you were born, there was a girl named Dahlia, and a boy named Zinnia. Dahlia was a dreamer, much like you, and Zinnia was brave and caring. They promised each other that no matter where life took them, they would always return to this garden. This promise carried them through life's storms. Even when Zinnia had to leave for faraway lands, Dahlia nurtured this very garden, believing that one day, Zinnia would return. So years went by, and the garden thrived, filled with hope and love. In one beautiful spring day, Zinnia returned. The garden had become a testament to their promise, a promise kept amidst time, embrace. They built their lives together in this village, always remembering the power of their bonds. Aphelia's petals seemed to glow as he concluded the story. Kentucky, promises have the power to light up our paths, to give us strength when we need it most. Hold on to your dreams and believe in the promises you made to yourself." Poppy's heart swelled with hope and gratitude. She thanked Achillea and made a silent promise to herself to nurture her dreams as she nurtured the garden. That night, as she lay in bed, she felt a peaceful resolve, knowing that promises made with love and sincerity would always guide her. And so, each day Poppy continued to care for the garden with renewed spirit, her heart ever intertwined with the bloom of Achillea. The garden flourished, a living reminder of the power of promises and the beauty of a tender heart. The new story begins to guide you closer to sleep. The support bond between Tulip and Lobelia. This story is about the unbreakable bond and unwavering support between Tulip, a spirited girl, and her loyal salamander friend Lobelia as they overcome a drought to save their village. Under a vast, azure sky, in a village nestled between endless fields of blooming flowers, lived a girl named Tulip and her loyal salamander companion, Lobelia. Tulip was a spirited child, with golden hair and turquoise eyes, always eager to explore the wonders of their floral kingdom. Lobelia, on the other hand, was small but mighty, with scales that shimmered like the morning dew and petals. Every morning, Tulip would wake up with a smile, for she knew that another adventure awaited her with Lobelia by her side. They had formed an unbreakable bond from the moment Tulip found the tiny salamander lost and alone in the garden. From that day, they became inseparable. Their village was famous for its vibrant gardens, each one more beautiful than the last. The villagers tended to their flowers with unwavering dedication, and the air was always filled with the sweet fragrance of nature. In this paradise, Tulip and Lobelia spent countless days exploring hidden nooks and discovering secret paths that led to breathtaking sights. One summer, however, a terrible drought struck the village. The once lush gardens began to wither, and the villagers grew anxious. Tulip's heart ached to see the flowers suffer, and she knew she needed to find a solution. She turned to Lobelia, who, despite being small, had a resolute spirit and endless wisdom. "Tulip, let's venture to the forest of echoes," Lobelia suggested one evening by the fading light of the sunset. She said that within its depths lies a hidden spring with waters that have the power to rejuvenate even the most parched lands. Determined, Tulip agreed, and the two set out early the next morning. The journey was arduous, filled with obstacles and challenges. They traversed rocky terrains, dense thickets, and crossed swift rivers. Through it all, Lobelia's unwavering support kept Tulip's spirits high. Whenever Tulip felt weary, Lobelia would tell stories of legendary flowers, stoking the flames of hope within her heart. Days turned into nights, and just when exhaustion threatened to take its toll, they stumbled upon the mythical Forest of Echoes. The forest was a place of legends, its canopy dense and mysterious. As they wandered deeper, the whispers of ancient trees seemed to guide them. Finally, in a secluded glade bathed in ethereal light, they discovered the hidden spring. Clear and sparkling, it was more beautiful than they had imagined. Tulip filled her canteen with the magical water and felt a surge of hope. Together, they hurried back to the village with renewed vigor. Back in the village, Tulip and Lobelia sprinkled the real idolizing water over the withering gardens. To the villagers' amazement, the flowers began to bloom once more, their colors even more vibrant than before. The air was again filled with the delightful fragrance of life. The villagers rejoiced and celebrated Tulip and Lobelia as heroes. However, Tulip knew that it was their bond, their unwavering support for each other, that had truly saved their home. From that day forward, Tulip and Lobelia continued their adventures, knowing that together, they could overcome any challenge. Their story became a timeless legend in the village, a reminder of the power of friendship and support. And every night, under the same vast sky, Tulip and Lobelia would look at the stars, grateful for the strength they found in each other. Now, another heartwarming tale awaits. Surprising bonds, Rose and Camellia. This story is about a girl named Rose and her loving relationship with a ferret named Camellia, who bring unexpected joy and companionship into each other's lives. In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and blooming meadows, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Rose. Her home was a picturesque cottage adorned with hanging baskets of petunias and a garden brimming with sunflowers and marigolds. Despite the tranquil setting, Rose often felt a pang of loneliness fluttering in her heart. She had friends in the village, but something always seemed to be missing. One sunny afternoon, while walking through the woods, Rose stumbled upon an unusual sight. There, nestled under a blanket of wild camellias, was a tiny ferret trembling and looking lost. With her gentle nature, Rose approached slowly, extending her hand. The ferret, sensing no threat, cautiously stepped forward. Rose decided to name this newfound friend Camellia, after the beautiful flowers under which they had met. From that day forward, Rose and Camellia were inseparable. Camellia would scamper around the garden, climbing up Rose's shoulder, and together they discovered endless adventures in the surrounding countryside. They trudged through forgotten trails, explored hidden groves, and even made friends with other woodland creatures, such as the wise owl named Iris and the playful squirrel called Puppy. One crisp autumn morning, Rose woke up to find Camellia missing. Panic surged through her, but she quickly gathered herself and began a desperate search. Camellia, where are you? Pleasant night, she called out as she dashed through the village and woods. Hours turned into an anguished eternity until she heard a faint rustling sound near the edge of the woods. As she followed the noise, Rose found herself at a small clearing. To her astonishment, there stood Camellia, wagging her tail excitedly beside a tiny nest made of leaves and twigs. Inside the nest were 3 baby ferrets with eyes barely open. Rosie's eyes welled up with tears of joy and relief. Camellia had brought these little surprises into their lives. From that day, the cottage bustled with playful energy. The baby ferrets, all were named Tulip, Daisy, and Lily, all clumsily tumbled over each other and chased butterflies around the garden. Rose delighted in caring for them, finding her days filled with surprise and laughter. Winter arrived, casting its stirring blanket of snow over the village. Rose and Camellia, accompanied by the 3 little ferrets, snuggled by the fireplace, where stories of their adventures would warm their hearts. A once lonely girl had found a loving family in the most surprising of ways, and her heart swelled with gratitude for her unexpected little blessings. Until we meet again, sleep peacefully.